Ireland approved same-sex marriage this week. It's not only big news in the same-sex marriage debate, it actually speaks volumes to the notions of how people are making and keeping religious identity and keeping faith with their faith in the 21st century. So the Irish people turn out. Approximately 65% of possible voters voted. So clearly this is an issue people wanted to engage on. And they voted by a margin of almost 2-1 in favor of gay marriage. In fact, in some districts, in the big cities, it was by 3-1. That's in a country that is 85% self-identified Catholic. In fact, that number rises to almost 90% when you include people who are native-born in Ireland. So what's going on when a proudly, passionately Catholic country crosses against church policy and votes overwhelmingly in favor of same-sex marriage? I think what's going on is that we are seeing once again that people may take on their institutions, but they are not necessarily walking away from their identity. Irish remain proud to call themselves Catholic. They simply disagree with church teaching on this issue. Now, I get it. There will be people who say, well, then by definition, if you're not following Catholic church teaching, you can't really call yourself a Catholic. Except this week, about 1.3 million Irish citizens would beg to differ. And the truth is, they're not alone in this trend of altering policy on a specific issue while remaining passionately engaged in a particular religious community. In fact, the church may call this a defeat for humanity, as the Vatican did about 2 days following the vote, but Irish citizens are experiencing something quite different, I think. Something actually quite parallel to why in the United States almost 50% of evangelical Christians under the age of 40 also support same-sex marriage. They may not agree with it for themselves, but they support the right and access to it and remain proudly, passionately evangelical. What's going on? I think it's that people are not making these decisions to support gay marriage despite the teachings of their faith, but actually because of their faith. I think that people are figuring out for themselves what different teachings mean and how they can apply. I'm not deciding who's right or who's wrong, but rather than calling this a breaking with faith, it would be interesting if we listened to people when their teachings take them in directions that some of us may not approve of or be comfortable with. Rather than wagging a finger and yelling at them for betraying, listen to them at least as they tell us, and this is the case with gay marriage for sure, that it is teachings like love, hospitality, radical empathy, awareness of outsiders, that these Catholics and evangelicals take as sacred mandates from the depths of their tradition that actually compel them to speak out in favor of gay marriage. Who's right, who's wrong, time, God, history will tell. But simply imagine at these moments if we understood that what's happening now is not a breaking with faith across the world, but a profound engagement with faith that has the capacity to allow people to use the traditions they love in bold new ways. And for those of us who don't always agree with those ways, to listen respectfully and stay in relationship, remembering that no one policy is ever as important as maintaining the relationships with those we love, even, maybe especially, when we disagree.